Sky Genie Entertainment presents the following. The Sky Genie Show is not suitable for children under the age of 18. It contains coarse language, sexual references, my own personal views and opinions. The characters of this show are fictional and are made for fun, not harm. I would like to thank you for listening to the Sky Genie Show. For the last show in 2017, let's give 2017 a big giant fuck you. Hello and welcome to the Sky Genie Show. This is the worst show ever. We're on episode 63 of the Sky Genie Show. This will be the last Sky Genie Show for 2017. Don't worry, the Sky Genie Show will be back January 6th, 2018. If you need your Sky Genie fix, you will have the holiday edition with Johnny Florida. Now, I have to say in advance that while editing it, the audio quality was pretty bad, worse than what you're hearing now. And it wasn't so much Johnny's then, more mine. Life, right? Well, I think because of the microphone, I'll guess it would be, it picks up the sound around me with other recorders, except for the recorder that's on my laptop. The trouble is, the recorder on my laptop does not record other people, so you have to get the good with the bad, I guess. If I was a tech whiz, hey, it'd be worth it, wouldn't it? But anyway, let's get into this show for the last time for 2017. Let's start off with New Japan Pro Wrestling, because fuck WWE, in what is now being billed as a double main event, with Okada defending his IWGP Heavyweight Championship against Naito, and Kenny Omega defending his United States Championship against Chris Jericho. I will start off with the World Tag League Finals. The winners were Evil and Sonata of LIJ. There's always a little bit of a pattern here with WrestleKingdom and how New Japan book things. Usually during the night, if something's going to happen, say Naito's going to win the match, generally what they'll do is to build momentum. They have a lot of LIJ people in the match and probably have them win. As for my picks, well, the final card isn't done yet, and I'm probably going to record a separate thing when I get the official card and release it sometime before WrestleKingdom starts, probably within the start of the year, probably. But anyway, Evil and Sonata defeated the Guerrillas of Destiny to become the number one contenders to the Tag Team Championship and win the World Tag League for 2017. It's unknown yet if Guerrillas of Destiny might be added to the match as well as a few other teams, because with WrestleKingdom there's a lot of big matches on the show, but there is a lot of people that are not on the show, and usually with like Japan or with WWE, what they try to do, they try to get all the talent on the shows. Usually that's why they have the Japan Rumble. They have a lot of tag team, like 8 and 6-man tag team matches before the start, is to get them on the card. I do have a feeling the Guerrillas of Destiny will be added to the match, unless they're going to split from Bullet Club and do something on their own, because Tama Tonga has been the underneath star that has come out of 2017. He did really well in the G1. He has really done well in the World Tag League. I mean, this whole year, Tama Tonga has been pretty much talked about. Kenny Omega has stated that he's going to trim the fat of Bullet Club, and see, the Gorillas of Destiny, they could go on their own, because they got Leo Tonga and Tonga Roa. Leo Tonga is still new to it, so to get him involved, they could have him team with Tonga Roa, and have them be the tag team of Gorillas of Destiny, and have Tama Tonga go for the United States Championship after Kenny Omega, Chris Jericho has ended. Because that dude is a star. So we'll move on to the United States Championship match and the build-up. On that same show, Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks faced Roppongi 3K. The Elite went over. After the match, Kenny Omega cuts a promo. The lights go out. The video appears of Chris Jericho. It goes on and on. Lights go out. Comes back on, and Chris Jericho is standing behind in the ring. Standing behind Kenny Omega in the ring. My mistake. Then savagely beats Kenny Omega to a bloody pulp, literally. But he wasn't the only one who copped a beating that night from Chris Jericho. Don Callis also got a code breaker. But it was an interesting night for Don Callis, because not only that, early in the night, I believe it was Lance Archer chased Don Callis out of the arena, and on the way, he saw a guardrail, and thinking his idea was to dive over it, but he thought it was a metal one, but it turned out to be plastic, and it crumbled, and he fell. Apparently, he injured his ribs really bad, but he still came back to do the segment with Chris Jericho and Kenny Omega. So hats off to Don Callis, who's been out of wrestling for 14 years. He hasn't been in the ring for 14 years, and this is what he got. So Don Callis, welcome back to the wrestling business. Another noteworthy thing on that show was the tag team match with Okada and Naito. I forget the other parts. It was Ospreay and Takahashi or whatever. There's so many people with the same last name or sound similar, I don't even know. Sometimes it gets confusing, and hey, it's Japanese, duh. But if the story of Naito and Okada, well, Naito being outed and not being able to win the big one, being voted out of WrestleKingdom, wasn't enough, the other story was that Naito's finisher apparently didn't have a counter for Okada to have. In this match, after this match, Naito went to do a catchphrase. Okada came down and beat down Naito. Naito goes to do his finish on Okada, but Okada locks him into a Cobra Clutch. So he found a counter to Naito's finisher. And you know what's funny about this? Usually, when it comes to a lot of stuff like WWE or something that doesn't really matter, I'll have to write it down to explain. Like, I'll do stuff in bullet points, but I'll do something like Rich Swann arrest, or the Booker T guy that did murder, which I'll talk about in a minute. Like, I couldn't be bothered to learn his name because it doesn't really care. I don't ever watch him. I don't watch 205 Live, and I don't really watch a lot of reality of wrestling. Not all the time. I watch it once in a while. I do admit I have to catch up, but then there's so many independent wrestling out there that, hey, how can you catch up every week? In a perfect world, I'd sit, binge eat with a packet of chips and a Coke, or maybe some Jim Beam. Fuck yeah, get wasted and watch a heap of wrestling. Usually when I watch WrestleMania, it won't happen the one coming, but usually what I do for WrestleMania is I usually got the day off from work, and I'll get a shitload of Jim Beam and just get wasted watching that. I remember when I was living with my roommate, she came home and I was smashed beyond belief because you were watching wrestling, weren't you? I go, fuck yeah. Apparently I was so bad she had to walk me to my bed because she was fearing I was gonna fall over or get an injury. roommates, aren't they the best? Actually, no. Not with this one. This one was cool, but usually with other roommates, I just hate living with people. I know I'm getting off topic, but I really do hate living with people. Unless it's a girlfriend or having people over, staying over for a little while, not long term. But anyway, I'll go back to my point. The thing is, what I find with New Japan Pro Wrestling and WrestleKingdom in general is that I have a feeling that I can get into this a lot better than I can a lot of the pretty much all of the WWE product, because here's the thing: when you watch WWE, right, on a weekly basis, they will want you to cheer for Roman Reigns, who has gone on record to say that he thinks he is the best wrestler in the world. And the thing is, if that's him saying that, or WWE giving him that line to say, who knows? But that is how WWE wants you to see him as the best. Yet I will watch a guy say Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens is an awesome fucking talent. He should be in the main event. He should be in a world title picture. The fact he is getting a pretty good push now. He could be a guy that be facing AJ Styles at WrestleMania. Tap on the nose, hopefully. In fact, can you imagine him and Sami Zayn challenging AJ Styles for the WWE Championship? And I know it would be another triple threat match, but it'll be a smart one. This would be a little bit of a smart one, because you could have Sami Zayn turn on Kevin Owens in that match and win. Now, I know what you're thinking, Sky Genie, they're not going to make Sami Zayn the world champion, but the way they have done his promos lately, the way he's gone out with his heel promos, the way he has been booked, if that guy isn't probably easily one of the best talents there, I don't know what is. There is a guy that could beat AJ Styles. There's three of them. First, it would be Sami Zayn. Then also it could be Kevin Owens. I could also see Shinsuke Nakamura. Only if they rebuild Shinsuke Nakamura by having him win the Royal Rumble. Because I've been seeing that online to say that they are planning to fix the wrong that they did to Shinsuke Nakamura with Jinder Mahal, which I think is bullshit. I mean, they could rebuild him with the feud with Randy Orton. That looks like it's going to be happening. Those would be the three I could see, but it won't happen because that's a shred of hope. And I'm thinking this, and WWE won't pull the plug and won't let things naturally get over and push people who really should be pushed instead of people who are mediocre. Granted, okay, I'll give Roman Reigns credits. He puts on good matches. He has improved on the mic. But at the same time, the way you push him, okay, there's so much bullshit that WWE will spin. And here on conferences and shit like that, press conferences, like with Triple H saying, asking, well, why don't you turn Roman Reigns heel? He'll be money as a heel. And he goes on to say, well, he's already a heel, maybe, in the eyes of you. But come on, we know WWE's not pushing him like he's a fucking heel. He acts like a heel. He comes across as a heel on shooting interviews or whenever he goes on all these radio shows and stuff, TV shows and that, and pretty much badmouths people. I mean, this guy is money as a heel, but you push him as a babyface and the top face of the company, and it doesn't work. But then, of course, we could all agree that Triple H's idea of a top guy, well, Triple H wasn't exactly a top guy or a face himself, so maybe he's just a bit loopy, and there'll be more on Triple H. But you see, my point in the differences when I think about WWE and New Japan Pro Wrestling. If you just heard it then, WWE, I'm complacent about it. And it might be little things, but it escalates into bigger things that I complain about it. Yet I'll watch New Japan Pro Wrestling and never feel at one time that my intelligence is insulted, or that I am made to feel that I can't cheer for someone like, say, I don't know, Kota Ibushi, because New Japan Pro Wrestling don't want me to, or another wrestler going off at me on shoot interviews, well, you can't boo this man because you're not in wrestling and you don't have an opinion. But you can't have an opinion. Fuck you, really. That's all I gotta say to that. Fuck you. I mean, if we're not allowed to have an opinion, then if we're not allowed to critique, then why the fuck do you really get into a business where people are watching you? And why do you keep going on about, hey, it's entertainment, it's entertainment? Okay, we get it, it's entertainment. If you present it as entertainment, you're going to get judged as entertainment. If you present something as a sport, professional wrestling can be presented as a sport, then people will will perceive it as a sport. So you won't have this mentality of criticism. And you do see people online criticizing New Japan Pro Wrestling, but then they never actually sit and watch the product, do they? They'll probably watch a match, it's not in English, and they'll judge it based on that. Well, I can't understand it, don't know this guy's name, I don't know who they are, blah blah blah. And I'll just say, I was the same way at one point until I actually sat and watched a New Japan match. And you know what? I've actually watched a lot of All Japan stuff with Misawa and Kenta Kobashi and Jun Akiyama. All of it's in Japanese commentary, but then I'm watching the action in the ring and not so much the commentary. And if I really want to listen to something in English, I'll mute the sound and I'll put on a podcast, or I'll put on some music or something in between it. And I don't have to have English commentary because I know what a body slam is. I know what a wrist lock is. I know what a Boston Crab is. I'm a wrestling fan. Of course I know what this shit is. So why does it have to be in a different language for you to understand what it is? Anyway, this segment went on longer than I expected. Hey, it's long and passionate. That's what we need, right? Don't go away. More of the Sky Genie Show after the break. The Sky Genie Show will be back after the break. Can't get enough of the Sky Genie Show? Check out the website, skygenieshow.weebly.com. There you'll find links to past shows and much more. Go to skygenieshow.weebly.com today for in-depth discussion of professional wrestling as well as politics and the stupid laws in your state. Check out Wrestling's National Committee with Johnny Florida, Old Man Jenkins and Papa Dave Sensei, live on Mixlr on Tuesdays during SmackDown, or the after party of Wrestling Soup, and on Sundays. Check them out. For in-depth discussion and show updates, go to the show's Facebook at the Sky Genie Show page. Do you need more fruits and vegetables in your diet? Check out juiceplus.com.au today. Juice Plus is the convenient and inexpensive way to add more nutrition to your diet from fruits and vegetables every day. Juice Plus Fruit Blend is made from 7 different fruits. Juice Plus Vegetable Blend is made from 10 different vegetables, grains, plus an array of natural antioxidants, phytochemicals, and fiber in a convenient capsule form. Each ingredient is especially selected to provide you with a wide range of nutritional benefits. We call it next best thing to fruits and vegetables. Check out juiceplus.com.au today. You are listening to the Sky Genie Show. And we are back. Now we'll get on to the rest of the topics. But hey, since it's the last show for 2017, why not make it long, right? Rich Swann was arrested over the weekend due to a felony of assault and battery and false imprisonment. Apparently what had happened, his wife is a independent wrestler, the name escapes me, but they were coming back from an independent show. Rich Swann was apparently criticizing the match. She got scared that he was going to beat her, so she got out of the car while it was moving. So he got out of the car and it kept moving. Apparently went into a tree. He grabbed her by the head and tried to get her back in the car. WWE have indefinitely suspended Rich Swann as of recording. Now, I have to wonder about this because yes, he did what he did was wrong. It's stupid. It's terrible. Could it be so? It might be something that got blown way out of proportion, and who knows? Who knows that this was a one-time thing? For the fact for her to be scared of him, there had to be prior things happen. I mean, if you're married to a guy, married to a person, and you're fearing abuse, that has to be a common thing. Whether it's true or not, I don't know. It's a hard situation. And the thing is, if he is convicted, then he will lose his job at WWE. Now, there could be a case where the wife drops the charges, and it was over a stupid heated argument. But the issue is there was 2 witnesses, and where she may drop the charges, he will still probably end up getting trialed. Because it's one thing if they did it at home. Well, they did it out in public, it's a different story because now you have witnesses. If you did it at home, well, she could just say, oh yeah, I had a bit too much to drink, it was something stupid, bit of a minor thing, it will never happen again. But the fact there was 2 people there that saw it, well, Rich Swann is kind of fucked. What he probably gets is a misdemeanor, but to WWE that doesn't matter. It depends if it's his first offense or not. If he has had prior legal issues, then say goodbye to Rich Swann in WWE. And let's move on to the Booker T guy who murdered his wife. Now I don't know his name, it escapes me, and I'm just going to call him the Booker T guy for now. Apparently the story goes, he kills the wife, goes to dump the body. The truck he carried the body in got bogged, and he called a friend to get him out. The friend saw the body and immediately called the police. In that instance, the guy called his dad and fled the scene. They end up getting him and arresting him. He claims that she shot herself. And whether she shot herself or he killed her, the stupid thing was dumping the body to begin with. But it seems a bit fishy to me. I don't know if he did it or not. I'm not a judge, but I mean, how many people are going to admit to murder, right? Anyway, you look at it, it's fucked up. So let's move on. Don Callis and Scott D'Amore have been named the Executive Vice President of Impact Wrestling. They will oversee all creative adventures of Impact Wrestling. Now, I do wonder. This is another group of people that have come in. Scott D'Amore has been there for a while. Don Callis has been out of wrestling for 14 years and found himself in another wrestling company. A creative aspect. Now, I like the look of Don Callis' approach. What he says on Killing the Town is pretty interesting. But it may be too little too late for Impact Wrestling. Colin Delaney made a return to SmackDown Live as a jobber. Shit'll be like, things never changed. And word is going around that Matt Hardy has full creative control of the broken Matt Hardy character. Bullshit. What I do believe is that Vince McMahon is a fan of the character. Okay, I can get that. But the fact he has full creative control? Bullshit. Bullshit, bullshit. Hey, I know I'm quoting Dutch Mantel here, but bullshit. When in the flying fuck does anyone believe that Vince McMahon is going to give Matt Hardy creative control? And I know people want to have a little bit of hope that they're able to bring something to life on WWE, but let's face it, it's WWE. They probably said that to him to have it on TV, but that doesn't mean he has full creative control. Remember Bret Hart in that last 30 days? Remember CM Punk? Supposedly had creative control in his shit? Hey, good for WWE incorporating a gimmick that was made outside of WWE, but let's not forget, this gimmick was created outside of WWE. WWE doesn't want a gimmick that they did not create to get over on their television. They're gonna oversaturate it to death. They've already apparently done that. What I would love to see is a final deletion style WrestleMania. Someone like Bray Wyatt or somebody, which I think would be kinda cool. But then it ain't happen because WrestleMania is, even though it has 500 hours, they are usually rushing for time on those shows. So it would be nice for Matt Hardy to have creative control on the broken character or woken character, whatever the fuck it is. But let's face it, he doesn't have it. Sorry for people who get false hope. Don't go away, because after the break, more of the Sky Genie Show. The Sky Genie Show will be back after the break. For those wanting to follow me on Twitter, it's at SDD916. Check it out. For discussions and opinions on the events of professional wrestling, check out Wrestling Soup with Joey Numbers, Anthony Missionary Thomas, and John Draper as they break down what's good and what's bad in professional wrestling with a light-hearted approach. Thursdays, 9:30 on Mixlr, Saturday morning-ish, and after every WWE pay-per-view, you get a free post-show review. Check out Wrestling Soup, motherfuckers. Are you a person looking to get into media for work experience? Then sign up to Sky Genie Entertainment. Sky Genie Entertainment is everything the Sky Genie Show, from the channels to the social media page, marketing and advertising. This is strictly for volunteering, so if you're interested, go to skygenieshow.weebly.com, follow the link to the Sky Genie Entertainment page, and click the link to the inbox, where I will deal with you personally. On that page is a list of positions I am looking for. Check it out today. Looking for a good wrestling podcast for Sundays? Because let's face it, who isn't bored on a Sunday, but also wants to have that lazy day? Then check out the Solomonster Sounds off. He breaks down everything that in the week that was professional wrestling. Also check out his Facebook page, where there's numerous discussions on the topics of professional wrestling. Solomonster Sounds off drops every Sunday on Podbean. You are listening to the Sky Genie Show. And we are back, and now it's time for the predictions for Clash of Champions 2017, which is the final pay-per-view for 2017, so let's get on with it. First up will be the pre-show with Zack Ryder vs Mojo Rawley. Mojo Rawley is the new heel, and is probably going over. At that, who is actually going over, because let's face it, Zack Ryder, who has been there for years, who they have no creative plans for. Mojo Rawley, who they probably definitely want to push because they made him win that Andre the Giant Battle Royal. Remember that? No, you didn't. Mojo Rawley goes over, and this feud ends. We start with the pay-per-view with Breezango versus the Bludgeon Brothers. Well, the Bludgeon Brothers just debuted, so they're going to win. Then have a fatal four-way for the SmackDown Tag Team Championship. It will be the Usos defending against the New Day. Shelton Benjamin and Chad Gable. Rusev and Aiden English. Now, I would love for it to be Rusev and Aiden English because, let's face it, Rusev has probably been the best on that show. SmackDown. Dude couldn't be hotter with Rusev Day. It would be cool to have a little bit of fun for that team. But I guess there's chuckles out there. Yes, fun in WWE. That doesn't exist. What would I actually go for? I would probably go with the Usos on this one. Sorry, I did not see a title switch changing here. Could I be wrong? Yeah, but I don't see it. For the SmackDown Women's Championship, there is a Lumberjaw match, with Charlotte defending her championship against Natalya. And I think it would be really dumb to think Charlotte's going to lose here, so Charlotte retains. We then have Baron Corbin versus Bobby Roode versus Dolph Ziggler for the United States Championship. Who's with the momentum? I could see Baron Corbin retaining, but I could see Bobby Roode winning the championship because they seem to be wanting to push Bobby Roode just a little bit. But then they could also just stick it on Dolph Ziggler. So I'm going to take a stab in the dark on this one. Bobby Roode. Fuck it. We then have a tag team match with Randy Orton and Shinsuke Nakamura versus Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. Now there's a lot of stipulations to this match. First of all, if Sami Zayn or Kevin Owens lose, they are forced to leave the WWE. They can't go to Raw or anywhere, pretty much. Also adding to that is Shane McMahon and Daniel Bryan as the two special guest referees. Who's turning heel? People have speculated. It could be Randy Orton. It could be Daniel Bryan. It could be Shane McMahon. I could throw one in there. It could be Shinsuke Nakamura. I could throw in there that none of them are going to turn. And that we just get some sort of fuck finish. That means nothing. But either way, I see Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn retaining. Unless they want to fire him and do like a thing where they invade SmackDown. I'm very doubtful though. I mean, Kevin Owens is best at being a controversial motherfucker. When he was in Ring of Honor and he was fired, what he did was he would go to Ring of Honor shows, go out the front of the building, he would curse out Ring of Honor, he would curse out Jim Cornette, he would do all this stuff. And it'd be really cool to see Kevin Owens do all this, where he would go out front of the WWE building at the ticket booth, cursing WWE, cursing Shane McMahon, cursing Daniel Bryan, cursing Vince McMahon, doing all this stuff with Sami Zayn. You can build it to a match where they get rehired and they end up winning the WWE Championship. But the thing is, you're pushing Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn as heels and against Shane McMahon. And the thing that would happen is that they would end up getting cheered and getting the babyface reaction. You would have to turn Shane heel, unless Shane McMahon joins Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. But then you could have Daniel Bryan do it too. But then the thing is, if Daniel Bryan turns and joins Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens, they're going to get cheered because let's face it, Daniel Bryan is an over babyface. He's like one of the most over people in the company. Still, he still gets out there and gets loud babyface reactions. He goes out and does the yes, yes, yes chant. But the fact that we're going on SmackDown with the Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn with the yep, yep, yep shirts, I could see that being a swerve, and that either Randy Orton goes or Shane McMahon turns on Daniel Bryan, fires him, turns heel, because Shane is a natural heel. He's better at it as a heel. He could have found respect with Kevin Owens. Because let's face it, Shane McMahon came back who wasn't in good terms with Vince McMahon. And it plays into the story, but WWE doesn't care about stories, but he could be, well, this company was taken from me, and I want it back, and I'm going to challenge Raw, which you could have an interpromotional war between WWE, between Raw and SmackDown. But who knows? Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens wins. And then for the main event, it'll be AJ Styles versus Jinder Mahal. Jinder fucking Mahal. Now, I'll get into the indie stuff later. I don't want Jinder Mahal to win. I really, really hope Jinder Mahal doesn't win the WWE Championship, because this guy is god fucking awful. The fact is, he doesn't draw, he doesn't cut good promos, he doesn't have good matches, he doesn't get me excited. I don't want, when he was champion, I didn't watch SmackDown the entire time. I stopped watching because I didn't want to see him. I didn't want to see him at all. I had no desire to watch SmackDown. And while I watch here and there, I haven't really watched a lot of SmackDown since he won the championship. And when AJ Styles won it, I've watched it a bit more since then. I think with the recent India tour and how he drew and how he did, I would say and take a guess that AJ Styles retains. Now, there could be another match that leads to the Royal Rumble, because the Royal Rumble hasn't come along yet. And I hope AJ holds the title until WrestleMania. So that's who I'm going to pick, AJ Styles. And that is my Clash of Champions 2017 predictions. Don't go away, because after the break, stupid shit of the week. The Sky Genie Show will be back after the break. Check out the Sky Genie Show on YouTube, Mixlr, Vimeo, and DTube. Looking for a podcast instead of wrestling? And check out Get in the Corner with Dogger Baby and Yuck Nasty, 8:30 Wednesday night on Mixlr. Do you need a good laugh after the crap you see on Monday Night Raw? Then check out the Don Tony and Kevin Castle Show as they break down Raw and current events in professional wrestling. The Don Tony Kevin Castle Show, immediately after Raw. Hey, have you got a suggestion for stupid shit of the week? Then please send it to Twitter at SDD916. That is at SDD916 on Twitter. You are listening to the Sky Genie Show. For this week's stupid shit of the week, Triple H going over Jinder Mahal in India. Now, I could really give two shits about this, but I will say why it's stupid. You're building a guy up to be the star of a certain country. You built him this whole year to be the focal point of this tour that doesn't draw what it's supposed to, and it pretty much led to changes during that whole time. The fact is, the original lineup was Kevin Owens versus Jinder Mahal for the WWE Championship, and when Kevin Owens did that stupid, he got sent home, the card changed and it became Jinder Mahal versus Triple H. Now, you would think that Jinder Mahal would go over because he's the star that they want, but apparently Triple H felt that he was a bigger star, and he did get a bigger reaction than Jinder Mahal. He felt he was the biggest star and that he should have went over, which is kind of stupid logic, because if you're trying to get somebody over and you're the biggest star, maybe give him the rub by putting him over instead of inflating your own ego. Yet Triple H did lose the night before to Roman Reigns in Abu Dhabi. But let's get on to the real stupid thing, the fan outrage. Yes, there are so many people on Solomonster's page and everywhere complaining about Jinder Mahal losing, yet they are the same people who did not give a shit about Jinder Mahal. I don't give a shit about Jinder Mahal. And yes, it was stupid, but at the same time, you weren't cheering for the guy before. Why are you cheering for him now? And there's people out there that have become Jinder Mahal fans, and I have to check your medication and think you should be subjected to drug testing, but people are saying that Jinder Mahal is a great champion and they were enjoying his matches, and I think, man, hey, I want whatever you're having, because I don't see it. I don't see in any way, shape or form that this guy's a main eventer, that this guy is even good or entertaining. Hey, he'd be good if he was a mid-carder. It would be good if they built him a year before he won the fucking championship, instead of just putting it on him because he's steroided up. But you see, there's a lot of acne all over his body, and a lot of bodybuilders will say to that, yeah, that's due to a lot of steroid use. So, I mean, hey, I've had acne on my body before, but never like that. Never the way he does. But anyway, that is stupid shit of the week. I'd like to thank you all for listening to the Sky Genie Show. Check out the many platforms on YouTube, DTube, BitChute, Mixlr, and Vimeo. Our website, skygenieshow.weebly.com. Facebook, it's the Sky Genie Show page. On Twitter, it's at SDD916. Thank you for listening, and I'll catch you next episode. Bye. This was a Sky Genie Show production.